Hello everyone. Which one do you think is Frankenstein? The correct answer is this. In the original novel, the monster doesn't have a name, and the scientist who created the monster is Victor Frankenstein. Today, I will explain about Frankenstein and its author, Mary Shelley. In the early 18th century, journalism and satire flourished. Also, the modern novel was born. Poetry and drama had a long history and were read mainly at court and in social circles. But the novel was created by the lower classes and spread rapidly to the general public. The first style of novel was epistolary novel. This was a form of arranged letters, and Samuel Richardson, who wrote Pamela, is considered the father of the English novel. Since literature was male-dominated, women did not use their real names and published anonymously. I talk about Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. Her father was an English journalist and political philosopher. Her mother was an English writer and a pioneer of feminism. So both of her parents were very famous. But her mother died a few days after giving birth to Mary, and her stepmother, whom her father remarried, and Mary did not get along well. So there was no place for her. Eventually, when Mary was 16 years old, she eloped with Percy Shelley. As you know, he was one of the major English Romantic poets. When Percy's wife knew about their relationship, she committed suicide. Mary and Percy married later, but their tragic lives continued. They lost their children one after another. Life and death were constantly recurring in Mary's life, and her anguish was probably a major factor in her decision to write Frankenstein. The scientist's collection of corpses to bring them back to life could be considered Mary's own desire to bring her loved one back to life. Next, let's look at the differences between the image of the monster and his inner depiction. In particular, if you read chapter 9 through 17, your impression of the monster will change. In chapter 10, the monster says to Victor, "I was benevolent and good. Misery made me offend. Make me happy, and I shall again be virtuous," and asks him to create a woman who is as ugly as he is. The monster is lonely, miserable, and desolate, and he begs for nothing else but a mate who is in the same situation as he is. But his wish is not granted, and the monster becomes a real monster. From this part, we can understand the monster was hurt by human, so he took revenge by killing people. The monster is the victim of human. The first edition of Frankenstein was published anonymously with a preface signed by Mary's husband. When Mary was 24 years old, her husband Percy Shelley died in a sailing accident. In 1831, she published the third edition and announced that she was the real author. Mary's mother died soon after she was born, and she always visited her mother's grave. From an early age, Mary was lonely and sought a companion to talk with. The monster she created may have been Mary's alter ego. Thank you for watching. Next is The Mystery of the Second Generation in Wuthering Heights. See you there.